My name is Christian Udoh, and I'm a data analyst, a Microsoft certified data analyst. I was certified last year. All right, so let's jump right in. Okay, I will not ask anybody his or her name. I know as we proceed, I eventually get to know your name, each person. All right, so let's start. What is data analysis? I prepared a note. Right, I prepared a note earlier on for the class I take, and what I will do at the end of the class, I'll share the notes with everyone. Better still, I'll share a link to where we can each of us can go get the full details of everywhere we will be getting the information from. I'll share with you so you can also go and get it. And then if there's any question, we'll be dealing with it. So we'll take it line by line, precept by precept. So as a data analyst, you are on a journey. All you're trying to do is to make sense from data. Now, whenever we say data, most times people are confused. When I say data, I'm just simply saying numbers. It's another way of saying numbers. Most times, data will be numbers. Of course, there are times when it is text, but most of the time, they are numbers. They are digits. So you're trying to make sense of numbers, please, before you. I'm trying to be as simple as I can be. You're trying to make sense of information before you. Let's take an example. Let's say you sell let's say you sell lipstick on via your Instagram handle. Okay, so people buy lipstick from you, and then you just publish it, and then people buy. Each time somebody buys, you keep a record of when the person buys a lipstick, where his person's location, if the person is a follower or not, if it was a referral. I'm just trying to make an example of this. So you always keep this record. Then let's say after a year, you're looking at your record. Now you're trying to compile people that bought lipstick from you, in terms of location. So because you're considering opening up, let's say a physical store, but you don't know where to open the store. So you're compiling people that bought lipstick from you. You're compiling their details in terms of location. So you're grouping them by location. So people that bought from Lagos, let's say you have like 40 persons bought from Lagos. You have like 100 persons bought from Abeokuta. You had 100 customers. Let's say in Port Harcourt you had like 7 persons bought in Port Harcourt. Let's say you now had like 3,000 persons bought from Osun State. All right. Now you've compiled that, you've grouped them based on location. Now, based on the information you have, where are you likely to open? Where do you want to open that store, that physical store? One person should just say.
That would be Abeokuta, sir.
Okay, I would think is Osun, because we had like 3,000 persons bought from Osun.
Oh, sorry, Oshun. I thought Abeokuta was 3,000.
That's common sense. That's what data is about. Using information, numbers before you. If the data presented before you, to make sense, so you can make informed decisions. Now, I've tried to simplify this. That's the entire story. Everything you'll be doing will just be based on this. All right. So, but most of the times when this information when this data are coming, when you're collecting this data, they are not put together clean like that. Your work as a data analyst will be to organize this data, clean them up. Sometimes you may have some data that are not properly collected. You want to figure out, why is that data like that? So you want to clean that up, prepare it so that you'll be able to make sense of it. Okay, let me read this out for us. I don't like reading when I'm taking classes, but I'll just read this. Now, with data and information as the most strategic asset of a business, the underlying challenge that organizations have today is understanding and using their data to possibly affect change within the business. Now, if it was in the past, what will likely happen is that you will just say, okay, I think Lagos have more persons living in Lagos, so you want to open your shop in Lagos, all right? But data presented before you, the data will be telling you where. With the data, you can make an informed decision. That's the entire story. Now, as what I like to do, all right, is to do see. So now I like to use this the starting phase is the data analysis, all right, but I like to do that with Power BI because Power BI have a simplified interface. It's more like drag and drop. Of course, there's a part where you have to code, but the coding in Power BI is pretty simple. It's not as difficult as when you're writing with Python. But Power BI is pretty it's very simple. I think even if you can read and write, you can code with you can code with you can use DAX. All right. So what's Power BI? Because the tool we'll be using for the entire time together with Power BI. Power BI is a suite of business analytics tool. It's developed by Microsoft. It allows users to connect to various data sources. Most times when businesses collect data, the data may come in Excel formats, in CSV format. Sometimes it may be collected, let's say stored somewhere in a cloud service, let's say Amazon Web Services, or let's say Microsoft Azure Services, or maybe somewhere. Sometimes it's stored somewhere. Sometimes it may be collected as the data may be stored as a Microsoft Access file. All right. Power BI has the ability to connect to almost any kind of data source, whether the data is in Python, is in JSON file. You can connect Power BI to it. That's the beautiful thing. Whether the data is stored somewhere in a website, you can connect Power BI to it, and it will connect and bring it into your machine, right? And you'll be able to clean and do the other work. So if I state the process of the data and analysis is this: you get data, everything I'll define. I'll give you a note that you can see the proper definition. But the entire summary of it is: you get data, you clean and prepare the data. As you clean and transform the data, that's what I meant to say. You get data, you clean and transform the data, you model the data, and then you visualize so that you can derive insights from it. Look at the steps: getting data, cleaning and transformation, modeling, visualizing, and then visualization, and then insights. These are just the steps. So everything we'll be doing will be getting data. Sometimes we may have to connect to an API via an API, and you get the data. The data comes in. The next thing you want to do is to clean it, put it in order. If it's not in order, most times they won't be in order. Put the data in order. Then we model it. Let me talk about modeling. Okay, of course we'll go in depth after as we proceed. Now, let's say you have a store. You have a store. You run a store. In your store, you have books. You have a book where you record sales. So if somebody comes to buy something in your store, you have sales. You have the person's name, the date the person came to buy, what he bought, a number, and the quantity. You probably will have another book where when you bought the items in your store. Let me assume that you sell shoes in your store. When you went to anybody, let's say you buy your shoes from China, when you imported your shoes, you probably write how much you bought each pair of shoes. You write the cost, transportation, and let's say everything. The cost of the shoe will be somewhere, and in a different book. You probably will have the how much you intend to sell it. So that if somebody comes to buy from your store, all right, and you're not there, you have a sales boy there. The sales boy probably look at, in case maybe he has forgotten the price, he can look at your book where you wrote how much you bought and how much you want to sell. He can look at the book, see the price, and then comes and tell the person the price. The person buys. Now, when we get all this data, say this data is in a soft file, so maybe it's stored as a JSON file. When we get this data, what we want to do, we want to model, we want to connect them together. All right. We want to, let's say we have one where half sales, the person came to buy, all the information about sales. We have another data that has, the costs, what it costs you to get the product down to your shop. We want to connect both tables together. We want to connect them together such that we can get an information from your sales book and we can get information from your sales book and your let me call that one cost book. Both of them can interact. That's what the modeling is. I'm just trying to explain the concept of modeling. Is in simple terms to mean, creating relationships between the different data sets that you have in your data model. You sometimes, typically, you may have to work. You'll be working with at least 5 to 20 tables. So if you're working with 5 to 20 tables, and most times the tables are not coming from the same source. You might get, let's say you might get two tables as a JSON file, stored somewhere in the cloud. You might get another table. They may give you let's say a thumb drive that has a file, an Excel file, that is still connected to that same data set. You have to model it. Another time you might also get let's say you might get another 5 tables from a particular website. Then you bring a total of 10 tables from different data sources into your Power BI. So you want to find a way to connect all of them together so that they'll be working as a single unit. All right. That way, when you start writing your DAX code, when you start querying the data set, we start querying the data model, it's easier because they're all tied together. All right. Okay, so that's the concept of modeling. So I said it's about the data analysis process is about getting data. You get data, you transform and clean the data. You clean and transform the data. You model the data, and then you create your visualization. From there, you can get your insight. That's the entire concept of data analysis. All right. So we talked about Power BI, which is the tool that we will be using in our process. All right. So why do I want to use Power BI? I think one, it is user friendly. It has a user friendly interface. It provides a drag and drop functionality, that helps people to create reports and dashboards. That's why I prefer Power BI. I like Power BI. It's easier. Unlike the thing that you will create a Power BI. If we use Python, you will have to write code for everything. Let's say you want to create something as simple as a bar chart. First, you have to import all the libraries. You have to import maybe Seaborn and Plotly. Then you have to, if you're using Seaborn, SNS.bar, like that .bar plots. Some person might forget that. In Power BI, you can just drag and drop, and it's created for you. In Python, you have to start writing that. But when we go into Python, we'll be talking about that will be pure data science. Right, let's proceed. So that's why I prefer Power BI. It has user friendly interface. The next thing is it's integration with the Microsoft ecosystem. Now with Power BI, you can seamlessly connect with Excel, with Azure, and every other Microsoft tools. That's why I prefer Power BI too. It's the connectivity is seamless. All right, that's another reason why I prefer using Power BI. Of course, with Power BI too, you have advanced analytics. For example, it supports AI-driven insights. There's this particular visual that's called I've forgotten the name now. I forgot the name. When I remember, I'll tell you. I'll mention it. It's in Power BI. It uses AI. So with the AI tool, it can generate tremendous amount of insights for you. Now you can create custom. You can create custom measures with DAX. I mentioned DAX earlier. DAX simply means data analysis expressions, but I like to call it data analysis expression language. It's like a soft programming language. If you've used Excel in the past, probably would have used DAX a little, but that would be the basic form of DAX. With Power BI, you will do a lot more DAX. In fact, you can't do data analysis without knowing DAX. DAX is like the engine room, and it's very simple. I usually say if you can read and write, you can write DAX. Is that just simple? And besides it's amazing. The guys are doing a great job. All right, so for one, I said it supports AI-driven insights. We can write custom measures with DAX, and we can run some predictive analysis. All right. Now, that is why I prefer Power BI is its scalability. It's very, very scalable, right? Both for small business and for enterprise business. For example, you can use Power BI for a company like Total. You can manage all their assets using Power BI. It will do all that for you. No matter how their database increase, Power BI can handle that. But there's this thing with Power BI where if data is so much that you can directly import it into your system, into your machine, then you don't have to import it. You can allow the data to be there. Let's say you have a data set that's running to like billions of rows. Okay, that would be too heavy if you're trying to import that into your machine. So common sense would be you don't import the data. You can allow the data be where it is. Let's say you have the data somewhere in AWS cloud service. You can connect to that database and just bring the framework, just the framework of the data set into your machine. And then you query it there. Whatever information you want to get, you can query it there. The data set is not in your machine, it's there wherever it is. But every query you're writing, all right, you're getting the result in real time. That's another fine thing with Power BI. So the scalability, it's real-time updates and services. It can enable you to build live dashboards. You can schedule refreshes for update. So there'll be cases where you will create a dashboard, all right, and then the data is not there yet in the dashboard, but you connect the data. You connect the dashboard to the data source. So let's say you're carrying out a project where you're trying to find out the connection between women having money in their families and divorce. I'm just putting this up just for an example. No. So there's an argument that says that if women have more money in homes, their home will break up. Now you're trying to find out if that is true. Let's say one company is funding that research. So you can create a dashboard already. You can create a dashboard and tie this dashboard to the forms where the data set will be coming from. All right. So each time anybody fill the form online, you don't have to go and get the data. The dashboard, because it's tied to that form, it will automatically update itself. All right. It will just update itself automatically, just update itself from time to time. So each time you go and look at the dashboard, you're seeing, now that it has data, you can be seeing you can just be seeing the real-time insights. Anybody fills the form again, it updates itself. That's another good thing about Power BI. Real-time insight. Sorry, they just use power in my place now. Okay, so to get started, we have to install Power BI on our machine. I think I have to share the link. Let me quickly just share the link here, so all of us can install Power BI. Is anybody here? Can you guys hear me?
Yes, sir. We can hear you, sir. We can hear you, sir.
Yes, sir. We can hear you.
Nice one. Okay, let me share the link where we can just download Power BI. I'm just going to copy this. Okay. because this is what to be using. I'm just going to share this now. Can you see it in the chat window?
Yes, sir, we can see it.
Yeah, if you click this, it should take you to, okay. So you can download Power BI desktop here. That's what we'll be using. That's the basic tool we're using. And then we won't do anything today, like trying to see how it's done. For our next classes, I'll bring up data set that we will use. You know, we'll try to connect to different data sources, and we'll do some work. So with this, we're able to connect to whether is SQL database. We can connect to it. Whether is any form of API, we'll connect. Whether is a cloud service, we'll connect to it. What is an Excel, we'll connect to it. And then we'll also see transformation. So in our first class, we'll be looking at just connecting to different data sources. And I hope people will be able to get this. We'll connect to different data sources. And the following one, the next class after that, we'll start cleaning. You take like 2 classes for cleaning and transforming. We'll use, within the Power BI, within the Power BI desktop, you have a smaller software within it called Power Query Editor. It is the Power Query Editor that's where we'll do all the cleaning that will take place. Any form of transformation will be done in the Power Query Editor. Okay. We'll reshape there, we'll prepare our data for analysis there. Okay, once we do that, we'll close and we'll apply the changes and we'll come back to our data model. Then we'll now start building, defining relationship, which is what I call the modeling. We'll start defining relationships, we'll create some calculated tables, we'll create columns, and then we'll start using DAX for deeper analysis. And finally, we'll now start creating visuals. We'll design charts, tables, KPI dashboards, for storytelling. So at the end of the day, your work as a data analyst is to tell story with the data that you're given. It's like, think of it like you're writing a play, right? You're writing a movie. A play is the best thing. So I don't know how you want to design your plots, but you start, and then you gradually get to the middle until the end. So that's what you're doing. Well, this time you're doing with numbers. You're doing numbers. So they give you something. You start gradually taking the people from the numbers they gave you. You build that, and then you come to a conclusion. There's this project I did recently for it was an oil spill project. I did, and then it really opened my eyes to some companies, how they are destroying this country. And it was when I finished it. So the essence, I didn't have any narrative, but as I look at the data, I kept asking myself questions. So each question you ask the data, is this true? So you get and you dig in and try to find out if there's any data that supports what you're thinking. If there's no data, it means it's not true. So we'll create visuals, and then we'll design some charts and tables and then all that. Then finally, the last thing we'll do, we'll publish and share. Now, we have the link I shared for you is a link where you can download the Power BI desktop. This is a version of the Power BI where that will be installed on our machine. And just once you download, you run once you double click, it will run. So you'll just follow the prompt and it will install seamlessly. All right. So with the Power BI desktop, that's where we'll do everything we want to do. Now, we also have the Power BI cloud, which is also called the Power BI service. With the Power BI service, whatever you do in the Power BI desktop, you publish it to the Power BI service. It's in the Power BI service that you share your work. The Power BI service is not free, but we have the free version that we can use for our studies. Right? We'll create an account when we get there. So it's in the Power BI service that you share your work, you save your assets, you decide who should see it, who should not see it. That's where you create your dashboard in the Power BI service. And one more thing I like to say is the Power BI is a powerful tool. It simplifies data analysis, enabling users to turn complex, meaningless data into meaningful insights. Whether you're a beginner or an experienced analyst, mastering Power BI tool can significantly enhance your ability to analyze and present data effectively. Mastering Power BI tool, it can just change your game. Once you're analyzing Power BI, it's one. I'm not saying a tool that's as good as Power BI. Once you can master it, it's amazing. All right, so I'm open to taking questions if I have questions. Now, if you're asking me, don't ask me questions that you can easily Google and find the answer. I like questions that that will make us to think. Don't ask me something that you can just Google. Just ask me something that we can ponder and dig in together and find solution. All right, so let's ask questions. I'm open. Questions. So just if you have a question, just unmute yourself and speak. See if you can speak. I want to get questions. Okay, contributions or question, whatever you have, just unmute and speak.
Good evening, sir.
Good evening. Go on.
Yes, sir. So, my question goes like this. You speak so highly of Power BI, and I get to start to just like it. But then I'm curious that there are some job description that when one wants to apply, they will say they can put knowledge in Power BI, knowledge in Python, and all of that. If I now challenge my energy to understanding and loving and working on Power BI alone, I don't know what can you say? Are you saying that we should just focus on Power BI, or we should learn other ones too? Yeah. So that's my question, sir.
Okay. Let me see if I can answer you. Okay. When I started, I started with SQL. In fact, my strength is SQL. I'm better with SQL. I mean, started with SQL and then I got into Azure. My strength is SQL, basically. But I couldn't find a job with SQL alone. I struggled. I couldn't find a job. So I was seeing any job I see, they'll ask me, okay, can you visualize your data? SQL, you can't visualize with SQL. So I had to choose between Tableau and Power BI. Tableau is very good, but I prefer Power BI because it's owned by Microsoft, and Microsoft is a global company. And if you look at Google Trend, maybe if you compare them, you see the use for Power BI is growing. In fact, there's some jobs where you get and all you need to know is just Power BI. That's all that you need to know. Though I've seen a lot of them where they say they're looking for, they call it BI developer. All you need is just BI. That's all that you need. So that's how I got into Power BI. So that's I picked it. So as I kept on doing Power BI, and also whoa, so I needed to be certified as a matter of fact. So I have to start preparing for the exam. I wrote the first one I failed. The exam is difficult. It is difficult. If you have to write it, you have to study. There's no corner. You have to really study. You have to really study. And if you pass it, it means you know it. So I took time to learn it. I started learning it. I learned it for some years, and I started teaching it. And that's the fine thing. The more I teach, the more I learn, the more I go into it. So I wrote the exam finally, and I passed second time. All right. So if you're doing Power BI, there are some jobs that will require just Power BI. However, there's some jobs that will require Python. And that will be more of the data science kind of jobs that require Python. So yeah, I think after you've learned Power BI, in this tech thing there, you can't just learn one skill. Can you just learn HTML and say, yeah, you're good at HTML, you get a job? I don't think so. I think you have to combine with a couple of other skills. That's how it goes. In my opinion, I think but Power BI can actually stand alone, because there are some jobs I've seen and all they are looking for is just Power BI. They call them BI developers. All right. But I think if you know Power BI, you should also, after you've known Power BI, you should also learn Python. Why I say Python is Python can visualize, but the visuals in Python are not beautiful. They are not. But there's a particular library where, okay, they're not beautiful and they're not interactive. When we start Power BI, you see what I mean. And then maybe I will show us, a project in Python. You just compare and contrast. The visuals in Power BI are beautiful. Maybe they are beautiful and they are very, very interactive. There's only one that I know of, only one library in Python that is interactive. That is what is this that we called Plotly and Coffins. That's the only library I know that is interactive. And to get a visual, of course, now you have to write codes, and it's even as it's interactive, it's not as interactive as that of Power BI. The visuals are beautiful. So if you're using Power BI, it's because of visuals, they are incredibly beautiful. You can, in fact, you can arrange your visual to look like a website. You can arrange your buttons to look like a button on the way. It will look as if someone used JavaScript to develop it for you. It is that beautiful. That's the thing about Power BI. So, but I would say to you, if once you do Power BI, so long as you're in the big data space, do not stop with Power BI. Do Power BI so you can visualize your data. However, like to proceed into Python. So, but me, I started with SQL, like I told you, I did SQL, I finished it, I didn't get anything. I did Power BI. Just after I did Power BI, I got something. Then I went on into Python. So do not stop. It's everyday learning. I mean, so long as you're in the tech space, you'll be learning every day. You just keep growing, you just keep learning, you keep learning. Every day you want to keep learning. That's how it goes. If you know you cannot be learning, you cannot just keep learning. You don't have you can't be here. You can go and sell okra, because you can go and say tomato. If you be here, it means you'll be tasking your mind. You keep learning. You just keep learning. So you finish one skill, Somebody who did the HTML like three years ago and saying that all he knows is HTML, will he get a job today? No need to know CSS, no JavaScript. They just go along. I mean, if you can't do that, go and sell pepper. I mean, that one you have to learn every day. Just go and get pepper and you'll be selling. That's my take on it. Any other contribution? Yeah. Any question? Any contribution?
All right. Good evening, sir.
Good evening, ma'am. Go ahead.
All right, sir. Okay, thank you for this wonderful mentorship. Okay, my question is, as a data analyst, like what kind of tools do you want to, like, just like an advice, like you're advising on the tools we need to know, like we need to start up with, like Excel, Power BI. I just wanted to advise us, like the ones we need to get our hands on. We need to know very well, just like an advice. That's just my own question. Thank you.
All right. So for our time together, we'll be working with Power BI. Power BI can do the work, can get data from Excel. If you use it, Excel can be used for data analysis, but it's very, very limited. You can Excel is developed by Microsoft. Power BI is developed by Microsoft. They had Excel before. It is because of the limitation it has that Power BI came in. They don't develop, okay, let's do something that's more robust. You can do Excel, but it's limited. You can be doing some analysis for one one shop where they sell clothes. You can, if you use Excel, that's what we're doing. But if you intend to work for, or to work, sorry, if you intend to work with, global corporations, I will counsel you to stay with Power BI. It's like somebody who is asking me, what should I choose? If you want to do analysis, you want to compare Python with Excel. Python will do better because with Python I can connect to a data set somewhere. I can download a data set somewhere on the web. Excel doesn't have that capability. With Power BI, I can do the same, and we will do it. We'll do it. We'll do it, and we'll all see it. Excel doesn't have that capability. For Excel, either I enter data manually or I have to download data somewhere and now open it in Excel. Excel can handle some level of some volume of data. If the data is running into tens of millions of data, Excel can't handle that. It will crash on you. All right, but Python can handle that. Power BI can handle. SQL can handle that. So these are tools for big data. I'm not talking about maybe you have 100 rows or 200 rows or 500 rows. When you're dealing with, imagine that you're, just take an example. Imagine that you're to analyze the data set for the last election about 97 million persons got their PBCs, and let's say, I think around 70 million persons voted. Excel can't handle that volume of data. Do you understand? So we are looking at big data. Of course, you should know the basic in Excel, like open Excel, you can, enter information if you have to enter, just those basic things. But when you're doing the analysis, let's use Power BI. It will save us more. We will achieve more? We will achieve more. We'll be able to handle more data. We'll be able to analyze more with Power BI. All right. Okay, so if I have no other question, I'll humbly hand over the house. So I hand over the house now. Thank you. Bye, guys.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you, Mr. Christian. Thank you so much for my plan.
I have a question. Hello, good evening. Please, I have a question. Yes. Okay, good evening, sir. Thank you very much for a wonderful, insightful class, actually. Okay, I just have a very simple question. Can I, as an aspiring data analyst, excel without any knowledge of SQL? Because if I get everything you've been saying correctly, Power BI is more encompassing than Excel. You understand? And I need Python also. So without the knowledge of SQL, can I excel, like go places without any knowledge? If I've learned Python, I have learned Power BI, of course, and I have a knowledge of Excel. So that's my question, sir. Thank you.
All right. Thank you very much. That's a very intelligent question. See, with Power BI, you really don't even need SQL. Except
Is it just me? I can't hear you.
okay, can you guys hear me?
I was going
Can
to
you guys hear me
say
now?
the same thing.
Yeah, I was about to say the same thing just now.
It's my internet. Sorry, it's my internet. Sorry, guys. This internet is shaking. Huh?
I can't hear you again, though.
It's my internet.
We can hear
Sorry,
you, sir.
it's my
Okay,
internet.
sir.
Sorry, But you can hear me now. You can hear me now?
Yes,
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 yes.
sir. Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Beautiful. Let me quickly round up before thing will happen again. See, with Power BI, you're good to go. You don't need all of those knowledge. Sorry, I won't say you don't need them. But with Power BI, it can get your foot into the door. You can start working with just Power BI alone. You can start working. And if you ask me, I think data analysis, except you don't like numbers, I think data analysis is the easiest tech skill you can you can learn. Some people will argue it. It's arguable though. I think it's easiest tech skill. Even if you don't know anything in the technology space, Power BI is that easy. It's as if simply drag and drop. It's drag and drop, just drag and drop. The only time where you find difficulty, just very little, infinitesimal difficulty, is when we are writing DAX. And DAX is very easy. Can tell you, is it? It looks like a programming language, but it's way easier than programming language. It's very easy. So with Power BI, you can get your foot into the door. You can be hired. You can start working. Even if you don't know Jack, is that easy? Is that easy? Now you go to suffer your head for JavaScript and Java and all those big things. This one you can just start it now, and in 3 months, you're very sound. It's easy. You can pick up any data. With what we'll do together, you can pick up any data and you will come up with amazing results. Except you're not serious. Except you're not serious. So even if you know nothing, sir, you don't know anything about SQL, don't worry yourself. You don't know anything about Python, don't worry yourself. I tell you that you're good to go. If we are not so, I would have told you. All right, so guys, I'm out so that my internet will not mess me up again. Bye, guys.
Do you have questions? Hello. I don't understand.
Are
Thank
we
you,
having
sir.
more questions?
I have a question.
Okay, shoot.
Then unmute and ask. Okay, shoot.
Okay, so why is it that when you are applying for a data analyst job, under job description, you find that they are putting some things like I mean those requirements. There are so many, and what if you only know Excel, Power BI, and SQL, and job requirement is a bit large? Can they absorb you?
I wouldn't know the answer to that question. There are some jobs where they will say they want, let's say they want Excel and R. That's not for you now. You don't know R now. There are some jobs that they will tell you they want Python, R, and Excel. There are some they will say they want Tableau and R. You don't know Tableau. But Tableau and Power BI, the difference is not so much. It's like American English and British English. The difference is not so much. There's some they say they want Tableau. There's some they will say they want what's the other one? There are many other visualization software they will say they want. You don't know that one. But there are some I can quickly just go through now and just share one. So you see there are some they say they want just Power BI. That's what you'll be targeting, but that's what you know. That's where your skill that it's like let's say you are an electrical engineer and then there's a job where they are saying they want a mechanical engineer. You're not a mechanical engineer now. You can't apply for that one. It's one when they say they want an electrical engineer, that's one you can apply for. All right. So you look at the one that matches your skill sets. And there are some like that. I've seen many of them. Let me even screenshot one and share with you guys. I've seen many of them, especially if there's a friend of mine, or this is my friend, but we met, he told me in company, oh boy, now waiting they surviving with this. So he's this what he's in the US. He told me this is what is surviving him. It's simple skills is that you can learn in 3 months. You can put, if you put your head down, you can learn it in 3 months. You know. So if they are saying they want arrow, you don't know that one now. You should not be applying for that kind of. You skip and go to the one that they are. Let me look for BI analyst. You see, there's a lot of jobs like that. As a matter of, I've seen some of them now. Okay, there's one I'm looking at here. It's even in Lagos. CIG Motors looking for BI analyst. They're looking for just Power BI. There's a job I'm looking at there, Power BI developer analyst. ITC Worldwide, Abuja Federal Capital. If there's way I can share my, let me screenshot and just send to you guys. There are some like that. All you need. Let me screenshot this, and if I can share with you guys. Okay. Okay. Let me share this with. Let me just share it on. Let me put this on the chat. This is the kind of job that you'll be looking for. The question is, you want to look at if the money they are paying you, if the money they are offering, is enough for you. Right, that's what let me share this so you see. These are what kind of job you should be looking out for, not the one that are asking for R. You don't know R. Let me just share this in the chat window now. Just a minute. These in this one I'm sharing now are jobs in Nigeria. I just went to, okay, let me chat. Oh, I can't attach you. I thought I can attach a picture. I can't. I can't attach pictures. Sorry. I can't attach pictures. I thought I could. I wanted to share this. Sorry, I can't. I can't share it, as a matter of fact. There's no way to attach pictures in the chat window. So I can't do that. But there are some jobs I'm looking at right now that are a BI analyst. Those are the ones you're looking for. Those are the ones that will require BI. Those are the ones that will require the
Please, you can share the link. If you can share the link, sir.
Okay, hold on, let me see. It's from LinkedIn. There are a series of them that I'm looking at right away. I just screen grabbed it. I want to share the picture. I can't share the picture. It's from LinkedIn. There are some like that. I'm looking at some of them. Okay, let me just share one link here. See this one. Let me share this one. Just share a link. So you look at it yourself and see if you qualify. The first one I saw, if you qualify for it. Submit. Send. Share. Just a minute. Okay, let me share the link. Okay, I just shared this link. It's on LinkedIn. You can just check this out. There are a couple of them. Those are the kind of jobs you'll be looking out for, not the one that has arrow. It is when you learn arrow that you'll not be looking for a job that requires arrow too as a skill, right? But with this one, you can. I said you can get your foot in. You can get your foot on in. You say in the door, be on the door, in the door. This one can get you started first, all right? Any more questions? My internet is beginning to worry me now. I may have to sign out. All right, guys. I'll see you next time. Bye for now.
Thank you very much, sir. We appreciate it.